Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. Now, I know we've been going through a lot of the Acts of the Apostles, but I thought for Saturday, let's take a little deviation from that. And let's take a look at the lesson that's assigned from the book of Numbers, which is a morning prayer lesson. That's the first lesson for morning prayer. We're in the book of Numbers, chapter 21, verses 4 through 9. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against God and against Moses. Wherefore have you brought us up and out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much of the people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he may take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made the serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. Okay, I always find this a very curious story, right? Because we don't make graven images, do we? In the Old Testament, of course, when they tried to worship a molten image of a calf, when they were, when Moses was up on the mountain getting the law, the people with Aaron down in the village collected up the jewelry, and they made a molten image and said, "This is your God who saved you from Israel." But in this case, Moses is instructed to make a brass serpent as this remedy. And so the people, first of all, they sin by questioning God and questioning Moses, right? Why are you taking us away? The manna he's giving us isn't that filling, blah, blah, blah. They have a complaint, right? Every time God does one more, but what have you done for us in the last 26 minutes, God? There's a bit of this discontent, a part of their fallen condition, as we are a part of the fallen condition as well. And so because of that, God sends these fiery serpents to bite them, and some of them die, right? We have people all throughout this history of them going through the 40 years through the desert, because a whole new generation, this generation that is free from Egypt, is not going to make it into the promised land because of their hardness of heart, but it's going to be their posterity that is going to be fulfilled in the promise. So he has this fiery serpent that they lift up, and it's for them just to look upon it as a healing balm. And two things come to mind. First of all, Jesus said, if I be lifted up, will draw all men unto myself. Now, of course, he was talking about his crucifixion being lifted up onto a pole, right? That was one of the references for a crucifix is a pole or a tree. And so this, again, there's a corporate memory to those hearing Jesus. They would think of this being lifted up as a healing remedy. But also, it brings to mind the fact that, have you ever seen the American Medical Association emblem, the emblem for doctors? That's right. It's a pole with a serpent on it. That's where that emblem comes from. It's a nice Old Testament reference. So it's amazing how much of our common iconography of our country and our so much of who we are as a country is formed by the understanding that people should know the Old and New Testament, the basics of it. And unfortunately, that is no longer true. So we have to go out and instruct each other and instruct the world to know that we have to look at the world through biblical eyes, through Bible eyes, and not look at the Bible through worldly eyes, right? We want to do the opposite. We want to reinterpret the world with the Bible and not try to reinterpret the Bible with the world. So anyway, today is Saturday, and there's another crazy day around St. John's Church. There's a Tigers game in the neighborhood, and another big concert that Taylor Swift is playing over at Ford Field. So we do not have Saturday services scheduled at St. John's, but please do say your prayers for us. We are praying for you, and more importantly, all is clear. The road is clear to be here on Sunday morning for worship. No concert to worry about. So we have a Sunday morning, 7:30 morning prayer, 8 o'clock Holy Communion, 10 o'clock Holy Communion, and we'll be celebrating the Feast of Corpus Christi, the external solemnity of it, and then 5:30 evening prayer. So pick a service or two, right? You can come to 7:30 and 8, or you could come to 10 and then come back to 5:30 if you'd like, or just come to 5:30. It's the only one you can make. But anyway, come and worship and believe and receive Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. And I hope that your Saturday is full of blessings.